What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh. This is Overlanding Now, and today what I want to talk about are the best 4 overlanding storage boxes that we have found so far. The reason I wanted to make this video is for anybody that's coming into this that's kind of new, or that maybe if you've been here for a while and you've tried other solutions. For us, it's been hard to find that perfect box that fits all of our stuff, but more importantly, fits inside of our vehicle every single time. As you know, while you're traveling, your gear's moving around, things that may not be as necessary, you have them kind of hidden away, but maybe you had to get to those items, so you had to pull a bunch of stuff out and then repack. And every time we break down camp, or every time we get to camp, we have to pretty much kind of unload and repack. And as your trip goes along, you seem to find better and better ways for all of your gear to fit. But when it comes to gear in general, I, much like you, I'm sure, have a little bit of an issue with collecting it. Collecting stuff that maybe I don't need, and maybe taking stuff that I don't need, and then forgetting stuff or not bringing stuff that I found out that I did need later. So the reason I wanted to make this video is so we can discuss the best 4 overlanding storage boxes for 2021 that I've been able to find so far. Now, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button so you can come along for the adventure. And if you have some input, please drop it in the comments as we get going, because I would love to know what everyone else does. All right, well, here we go.
I've been running with lightning feet. Na 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 na. Hear that thunderbolt following me. Na 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 na. Baby got wild on these same streets. Na 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 na. But I'm still running, nobody catch me. Na 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 na. Yeah, move with it. Da 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 da. Move with it, move with it. Da 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 da. Move with it, move with it. Da 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 da. Move with it, move with it. Da 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 da.
Okay, now the first box that I want to talk about tonight is the Plano storage trunk. Now, this box is the box that we usually attach to the top of our Rhino Rack Pioneer platform. Now, we've only taken it on one trip, and this box I bought for $25. I'll put the link in the description to all the boxes that I have, and that way you can take a look around. If you want them, cool. If not, that's fine too. But this box was what goes on top of our Rhino Rack. Now, I was concerned when I purchased this box, A, because I knew I was drilling into it right away, and I basically made 2 U-bolt clamps in the bottom of it. And what I'll do is I will put that video here so you can go watch it if you haven't, or if you want to kind of do something similar to it. Now, this box has like 4 plastic latches on it, and the only problem I've had with this box so far is the hinges on the back are like a plastic hinge. Now, that plastic hinge is broken, so every time I undo this box or I take the lid off, it comes completely off, which really isn't a big deal because it's still extremely weather tight. I've taken this box through rainstorms, and it really, nothing got wet on the interior of this box. So even after I drilled holes in it, the box has held up well, and it went on a 3,000-mile trip across the country attached to the top of our Jeep. So I would say this is a good box. For $25, you really can't beat it. The only problem is it's a little big, and it may be kind of hard to put on the interior of your rig, depending on what you drive, obviously. But if you're driving a JL, then putting this box on the inside, it may be a little bit difficult, and that's why we opted just to try to put it on the top of the rack. Now, what we put in this box when we travel is all of our camping gear and everything that we don't need while we're driving, and we won't need until we get to camp. So when I get there, we open up the tent, I pop the lid off, and I can take out what I need, keep in what I don't, and I can repack it before we leave and I take off. It just made things really easy because Cohen was with us on that trip, so we had more stuff in general, more clothes, more food, more water, and it made it a little bit difficult. It would have made it difficult if I would have had this box on the inside. So this box's dimensions, the interior dimensions, which I think is the most important part, because typically when you're looking to purchase these boxes, it'll say like a liter size or a gallon size, and then it'll just have the exterior dimensions. And although the exterior dimensions are important, it's not exactly what you need all the time. So the interior dimensions of this are 34 long, 15 inches wide, and 11 inches deep. Now that can hold a lot of stuff. We packed this thing out when we took off on our trip, and it, like I said, it held up really well. So for this, for $25 or $24.99, it's a fantastic overlanding storage box. If you're looking for something that's kind of rugged, you don't care if you break it, you're not really too concerned with it, I would say this box in itself has done really well for us. Now the next box I want to talk about is one that I did a video on that I'll put up here somewhere, and it is the Front Runner Wolfpack box. Now, I bought 3 of these when I bought them, and quite honestly, I don't think I needed 3 of them. I still don't need 3 of them, to be honest with you. But I bought 3 because they were kind of, they were hard to get at the time. They were going in and out of stock everywhere, so when I found them, I just bought 3. And quite honestly, this box has been pretty versatile for us. I know when I made that last video, I joked about, you know, you could use it as a table or you could use it as a stool. And I've literally used it as all of those things on our last trip. Now, these boxes are also not that expensive. They're not like the high-end overlanding storage boxes that you'll see, but they are. They're high-end, but they're not as expensive. But they're also a thinner plastic, and they're relatively small. So these boxes don't have a great interior size. Now, the interior size is only 17.5 inches wide, and I got it written down over here, so I keep looking, and 13 inches in width, 17.5 inches long, and 8 inches deep. Okay, so it's a relatively small box, so there's really not a lot that you can carry in it. On one of these, I carry all of our dishes. And the reason I used it for our dishes was because I was using a much larger box for all of our dishes at one point. And when I got these boxes, I said, well, I'm gonna make all of our dishes that we have fit in one of these boxes because it's gonna condense that space and we're gonna take up less space for dishes. That was the theory behind it, and that's what we did. And I think, like I said earlier, like the evolution of your overland build is like, how can you get the most for the least amount of money, but also make it extremely useful and pack as much into a small space, because we only have so much space when we take off on our trip. Now, these boxes I think are like 35 bucks. And that's really not bad, but it's not a big box. Like I said, we did use it for a dinner table. We did use it for stools to sit on around the campfire. We used it to stack beside the Jeep so we could stand up and put stuff onto the tent. So we've used them in a lot of different ways, and that makes them, honestly, a lot better for us. It means that anything that you can take with you on your trip that has multiple purposes is the best item that you can bring. And although these are just a box and it carried all of our dishes and it carried the camera gear, they worked out really well for multiple functions. And I think that's why I'm going to continue to take them when we travel, because they are just a box, but we've used them for so many different things that it means that they can be utilized differently. So for us, the Front Runner storage box, the Wolfpack box, has been fantastic, and it is not on that super high end of overlanding storage boxes that we're about to get into. Okay, so now we're starting to get into the more expensive stuff, and I was literally thinking about this earlier, about starting a YouTube series called Campfire Conspiracies that dives into why companies in the overland market charge so much money, and dissecting their business and seeing how much it is that they spend, and then just basically starting a chat about it. Because these boxes that are sitting behind me, I promised I would never buy, and here I am, and I got 2 of them. I don't know why I did it. Well, I do know why I did it. Because as I get older, I'm becoming more thrifty, and they were on sale. So these are the 95-liter Rome Adventure Co. rugged cases. Now, they're OD green, obviously, because that's the coolest color. I like it the most. But these boxes are extremely expensive. These boxes were $220 or $224 per box, and that was on sale for Black Friday, 20% off. So, at the end of the day, this box is a plastic box, and up top it has 2 gas struts, so when you open it, it stays open and it opens for you. But at the end of the day, this is a plastic box. And the reason I'm saying all this is because I think it's just absolutely insane that anybody, including myself, would spend this much money on a box. Now, everyone that has these boxes loves them. So that's why I purchased them, because we're going to need, we're kind of switching to a different setup where I'm going to try some new things. We're talking about getting a trailer. So my rack is going to have a little bit more space on it. I may not have a tent. There's so many things going on. And I wanted to get my hands on these boxes and see what they were all about. And quite honestly, they're extremely heavy, but they're no thicker of a plastic than the Front Runner Wolfpack. But they are nicer because they have gas struts. They have metal locking clasps on them, which is nice. But at the end of the day, it's still a piece of plastic that I paid $224 for. It comes in a really cool color. They got a cool name on the side of it, and it's got gas struts. But the box itself is, in my opinion, from holding it and messing with it and playing with it, is no more durable than the other 2 boxes that we just went over. So if you're looking to start your overland build and you're trying to figure out where to spend your money, I'm going to tell you, do not spend your money on a $224 piece of plastic. The reason I did it is because I have pretty much the stuff that I need, and now it's just trying to fine tune it. And to be quite honest with you, these boxes may end up sitting in the garage. I don't know. I plan on finding a way to use them, and if I don't use them, my wife is going to kill me. So I'm going to use them. I just don't know how yet. But this is a perfect example of when you're purchasing a box, trying to understand the dimensions of the box, because these are 95 liters, okay? So they're extremely long, and I'm going to look at my sheet because there's a bunch of stuff written on it. Now, the Roam box, in length, on the interior length, is 43 inches. The width is 17 inches, and it's 9 inches deep. So you can fit a lot in there. Now, these are supposed to be, they do come with a weather seal on them, so they should be airtight. They have a drain on one of the sides where you can drain water out if you used it for a cooler, which I'm assuming, I couldn't imagine it would keep ice cold for very long, but it's probably an option. And it does come with 2 handles on either side. So it does seem to be an extremely durable box. Is it worth $224 a box? I don't know. I mean, here I am with 2 of them, but that does not mean that I am trying to sell you Roam boxes, because quite honestly, until I figure out if they're a good box, I would never buy this box again. But I just had to know, because I mean, what makes a $34 box so much different from a $224 box? I mean, somebody had to take the plunge, so I did it. But they are extremely heavy. They're probably extremely durable, and I'm really excited to figure out how these are going to work. But these are a viable option, and I would love to know anybody's comments, anybody who has Roam boxes, and if they hold up to the elements, or if their construction is as durable as everyone says that they are. Okay, the last box I want to talk about is the tried and true, my favorite box of all time. And I don't know why I keep buying boxes, because these boxes have been perfect from day one. It's the Sterilite industrial grade plastic tote. They're fantastic boxes. Now, when I bought these boxes, and in the last video that I was talking about, I was talking about these boxes. I talk about these boxes all the time. But I got these for, they were like $30 for 6 of them, but now they're like $128 for 6 of them. And I don't know if that's because plastic's more expensive now. I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is these boxes, for $120, you get 6 of them. And they are tried and true, fantastic boxes. And just like the others, there will be a link in the description where you can go check them out for yourselves. And I highly recommend these boxes. I have Sterilite, I don't even know who they are, but they make a great box. Now, I've put everything in these boxes. I've stood on them. I've had Cohen running around, knocking them over, breaking them, and they just keep working. They're a very simple design. I'm going to try to show you that they have just a plastic. That's it. And it's a crappy plastic top. It's nothing special. There's nothing special about this box. But once again, it's 60 quarts and 57 liters. So what that breaks down to is, I don't know. All right, 22 inches in length, 14 and a half inches in width, and 11 inches in height. Now, they have been perfect from the day that I bought them. I put all of our stuff in them. We take them across the country. They fit well in the Jeep. And if you have a Jeep JL, or I'm assuming a JK, it probably has the same interior dimensions. When you have your seats up and you slide these boxes in, they rest up against the seat and you can close the door perfectly. These boxes have blown my mind, and I keep buying boxes because I'm trying to find something better, and still to this day I haven't. This is the box that I would recommend anybody who's starting out overlanding. Get a set of these, and you might not ever need another box unless you just are like me and you just keep buying stuff that you probably don't need, but you want to find the best solution. And so far, from the very beginning, this has been the best solution for us. The link's in the description. Check them out if you like them. If not, that's fine. Maybe you have something better. And if you've ever used these boxes, please drop me a comment and tell me if I'm just the only one that is on the Sterilite bandwagon. So there you have it. The top 4 overlanding storage boxes for 2021, in my humble opinion. Now, if this video was helpful, if you got anything out of it, please like the video. It helps us out. And if you have information on this, either of any of these boxes or other boxes that you have used, I would love for you to drop those into the comments, because I'm always trying to find new gear because I have a problem like most of us do, and I'm always trying to kind of evolve the way that we travel, much like you guys. So thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, press the like, and we'll see you on the next one. Later.